Today we're talking which one of you wins at Jeopardy. You are the wife. All right, so let me lay out the scenario. You're sitting there, you're both on Jeopardy. You and your wife are playing head-to-head. Alex Trebek's like, and the category is, and then it starts. Which one of you wins? Let's start with the category of sports.
Yeah. Okay.
You win that one.
Yes. This is all category based. If it's 16th century composers,
Right.
I lose.
Right.
If
I'm screwed.
if it's how to read notes, like I lose. If it's how to play Scrabble, how to speak the English language, I
yes.
lose.
Like mine with my wife, it would be healthcare questions or the human anatomy, and it's like I just sat there and.
Right. If it was sports, I would win.
I probably wouldn't.
If it was movie trivia,
Yeah.
I would dominate.
Oh, that's bold statement.
I would dominate. My wife has seen like
is she
3
a movie
movies.
Watcher?
No, I told you this. Remember the default response, the default question, have you seen this, is not the default question.
No.
The default question, you just don't even ask. You just
assume that they haven't seen
right?
it.
Remember we were talking about the greatest
Yeah.
love story of all time, right? You don't ask.
Braveheart?
Yeah. you were listening. It's totally topic based. My wife is much smarter than I am.
God. So we will occasionally turn on Jeopardy while we're at home. And there's nights where I am just smoking her. And then there's nights that she is just rattling off answers. And I'm like, how do you even know this stuff? You know?
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to actually go on to a head-to-head. Maybe we should have like one of those competitions here at work. Bring in our spouses, record it, see who wins it, and then humiliate ourselves.
My wife wouldn't do that.
Why not? Why not?
Number one, she does not. She's a performer, but she
Just
is
destroy
not.
you then.
She's not a. What's the word I'm looking for? There's
Competitor?
no like. There's no like airing. There's no. She doesn't have a desire to like openly compete.
Really?
Right. And not only does she not have the desire to openly compete, now she does, right? Because she's a professional. So like you win your jobs by being better than other people
at
which
your
is what I
job.
tell her.
Yeah.
Right? I tell her that all the time, that, you know, you have your job, which means everybody else that wants your job lost to you.
Yes, all
and
of
she
them.
like she like recoils.
Right.
It's not sports.
You're number one.
Right, exactly. But she
That's what first chair means. Yeah.
So she would do that. She wouldn't do that, right? Because she doesn't want to compete, and she doesn't want to compete with me.
I can see
Because
that.
we're
You're a
married.
little competitive,
'Cause
and
we're
you're married. Right.
And she's not interested, because if I start going, it's going. Like we're gonna go.
It's on.
So we're gonna. I don't play games just to play.
He plays games to win, and I've seen
Like I
your
imagine,
streak come out at work
I
too.
imagine I'm gonna dunk on my daughter.
I'm gonna take you out, little girl. I love you, Daddy.
Oh my god.
I can totally see you doing that too. Wait till your son gets to that age where he wants to play
I'm
sports
totally
and
gonna-
wrestle.
I'm gonna
He's gonna be
wallop
like,
him.
all right, you're 10 and you're about to learn a
I know.
lesson.
Yeah, exactly. I've been okay. This is stupid, but I've been changing his diaper before, and he like squirms around.
Right.
He's a kid, right? He's a
Right.
baby. He's like 18 months old, so he's like squirms, right? And so I have actually said this, like put my hand on his chest and he can't move.
Yeah.
Right? So like his limbs are like
Right,
flipping
flailing around and
but he
you're
can't
just
move,
laughing.
right? And then I have actually, these words have actually come out of my mouth.
Oh, dear God. I don't even want to know.
You can fight as hard as you want. But I'm stronger than you, and I will be stronger than you until you're probably 22. I've actually said that.
And then your wife's just standing there shaking her
My
head.
wife's not there. I wouldn't say that if my wife was there.
Don't tell her.
Because frankly, if my wife was there, she would change his diaper. Not because I can't, but because
She just wouldn't don't say that to our son.
yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
You're
already.
And he screams. He was screaming in the morning. And I come walking downstairs and I look at him. He's 18 months old. I look at him like, why are you screaming?
Come on, man. Get your stuff
Knock
together.
it off.
Right. Don't
Right?
you know we have a household to
If
uphold
you're
here?
going to be screaming when I come downstairs early in the morning before I go to work, right? Then the trade-off is you need to get a job and start paying rent.
Right. And get to work, son. Get to
But
work.
the funny part is we have completely derailed from Jeopardy. which is normal.
Yeah,
But
that's what we do.
We had a conversation. I've actually had a conversation with my son.
At 18 months. Yeah, keep going.
No, listen.
I'm listening.
Okay, so he and his sister share their bedrooms are side by side. They're connected by a Jack and Jill bathroom.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so she's sleeping, and he now sleeps through the night, which is awesome because my wife and I are finally able to, if we are actually sleeping, right? Like, if you're sleeping, you can sleep.
Yes.
Right. So there's not this fear of like, did I hear my kids? Because they're not
Making
getting
noise.
up anymore.
Yes.
But when he was, right, she would go and she'd pick him up and she'd change his diaper and she'd talk to him and then try to put him down. But he's awake, right? He's awake. So he wants to be awake. She wants him to go back to sleep. So then after a while, she would give up. And then she'd take him from his room, and then in the spare room, which shares a wall behind our bed.
Yes.
Right? We have a pack and play. And she'd put him in the pack and play.
Oh, my.
And he is just screaming.
Yeah.
And he's screaming and screaming and screaming. But you try and do the, I'm not going to rescue him.
Right. Because you told me the reason why.
So finally, I'm like, throw the covers off and walk out. And I walk into the room and open up the door. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he stops, right? Because there's a person there. And then he's like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. I'm like, stop it. Pick him up, put him down, put my hand on his chest. Not holding him, just put my hand on his chest. Listen. Yeah. Right? And he's crying. Yeah. And I'm like, you need to stop screaming. Okay. Are you going to stop screaming? Yeah. Right? Okay. You need to take a deep breath and stop crying. Okay. Stop screaming. Okay. I'm going to go back to bed. No more screaming, okay?
Oh, my.
Okay.
Oh,
and then he goes away, and then he stops. I was like, oh, my God. I just had a conversation
I'm a
with my son.
parenting champion.
Yes. So who would win in Jeopardy? Me.
You.
No, I would get... Again, it's topically based.
Topical, yeah. Because, sometimes stuff comes up like art, too, and...
Oh, I get smoked.
Yeah.
Art?
Yeah. I even took art in college because they made me, because it was part of the degree. It really sucks that they make you take classes that you don't want to take.
I had to take 4 semesters of religion.
I had to do multicultural studies, and it was fun. It was good.
4 semesters of religion.
That's pretty...
It was great. Very pious individual.
Well, certainly you would know that category then on Jeopardy. The Bible.
Yes.
I know this one.
Sure, it's a book.
I got this one.
It's a book.
All right, one last one. If you guys were on the early in your marriage in the newlywed game, would you guys have won?
Oh, my goodness.
Because I can barely remember anniversaries, as we recall. I am 0 for 1 this past year. So, and then be like, what's your favorite color?
How many anniversaries do you have in a given calendar year?
Well, for this year, since we've been doing this, I'm 0 for 1. I'm like 2. I'm 2 for 2. Okay, I'm 2 for 2 all time.
I don't think you know how to do math.
It doesn't matter. I'm 2 for 2.
I don't. You keep saying...
You didn't hire me to do math.
You keep saying these words. I do not think they mean what you think they mean. I would whoop you in movie trivia. I'm just saying. Okay.
That one I would... I'd concede to that one. I would, because I don't watch a lot of movies.
Okay. The Newlyweds game?
Yes.
Okay. So if these were...
And early on, would you have been the winning couple?
If we were playing against you and your wife?
Let's not put my marriage into this one. No,
Just average marriage.
Let's go with someone that has that runs better than 50%.
We'll just go with what I assume would be the mean.
Yes, because I'm
functional marriage.
Yes.
I think we would have done pretty well.
We're
very similar.
Yes.
Very similar, because most of those questions, right? They're like attitudinal based.
Yes.
I mean, they are sort of factual, gotcha, because that's kind of what makes it funny.
That's what they do, yes,
right? Because it's kind of what makes it funny.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, if you understand the reason that we get along is because the drive is the same. So like the way we perceive things is different. The angle with which we perceive them is different, but the way in which we get there, or the thing that we actually see, is pretty much the same.
Oh,
so I think we would do pretty well. And then I think you'd probably put a bunch of questions together and we get 0 out of 10.
Right. Some of those questions they put is like, I don't know her favorite color. When is your wife's birthday?
I know my wife's birthday.
Then you go into the ring.
I know my wife's favorite color.
Inside of it, like, oh, yeah, now I remember.
Cheater.
No,
Cheater.
That is just
I know.
smart.
I
That's
know the answer to
planning.
both of those questions. I'm not going to answer them
Fine.
on this podcast, but I know the,
Yes,
the
you
answer to
should.
both of them.
Right, because that's how
I'm
you
not
find
going to
out people's
recite my wife's
passwords.
birthday.
Yes, and the name of your first pet, if you could for me, please.
The name of my first.
No, don't.
The name of my first pet. Oh, that's a tough one. That's
Yeah.
not. That's not a security question I use.
Okay, I'm just saying. Probably shouldn't
It
say
was
that one.
Coco.
Coco.
She was a Brittany Spaniel. She was awesome.
Wow, your
Coco.
masculinity levels are kind of like
K-O-K-O. K-O-K-O. She was a hunting dog. What are you talking about?
Whatever. Now you say
What
it's
are
a
you
hunting dog.
What are you talking about? M to the E double M-E cat.
E-double-M-E. She's a palindrome mother. Sorry, I get like that.
This
I love
guy.
My cat. I love my cat. She's had a rich history. That's clearly why we had a painting made of her as a queen for an anniversary gift. Well, that's another episode of My Wife Hates This. Don't forget to like what we do. Subscribe to our channel. That way you get notified every time one of these gems of wisdom come out, so you guys can understand how to save your marriage as opposed to what I do and plow through mine. But don't forget to check out ourcommunitynow.com for all the stories and things that go on your community that are fun, cool, and make you feel good. I'm Josh.
It's raining.
And it's raining. We will see you guys next time. It's raining